Good evening, everyone. Today we will be talking about the topic how to improve critical thinking in schools. What do you think is the system we are following now is good or not? In 2020, where I studied 11th standard, the school has maintained a strict discipline in taking notes. At that time, I was in 11th grade. We were mature enough to taking care of our own notes and what to write and what not to. But still, teachers are strictly checking our notebooks one by one. I really hate that kind of system. However, when it comes to teaching, teachers are often changed. When someone comes for about 1 week, after 1 week, another teacher will come again. This is how the teachers have been changed from time to time. So we were facing problems, and all of us within the class, did not do well in almost all the school exams. That's an example of mine. There was no quality. Quality education means you have to understand and think critically to solving problems. What was improving? Our handwriting was improving because of teachers checking our notebooks. That was somehow great, but as far as quality education is concerned, we must prioritize quality explanation, quality lecture from the schools. C. The scope of passing, getting good grades from school, from the board exam, will not make you become a great person, will not help you achieve what you wanted in life. Maybe you get 99.9 percentile in class 12 exams. When it comes to competitive exams, there is nothing that will work if you do not study. Suppose if this is a pipe. When I make a hole on the pipe, there will be water sprinkling out from here, here, here. When we pass matriculation, there are lots of ways to pursue, to go forward on the basis of our interests. It appears like an arrow. Suppose this is medical line, defense, engineering, etc., so on and so forth. Which streams do you take to be a medical student in the future? Which stream, what subjects you need to study to become an engineer in the future? This all relies on you. My point is, it's good, it's excellent to get good grades from schools. However, when you compete with people around across the country, no percentage has been prioritized. It's all about your preparation as per the syllabus given by the conductees of the examinations. So in this case, you need to be very careful in your learning process. So how to develop, how to improve critical thinking in schools? I would suggest two things. One is practical based learning, and number two is education with games. Number one, practical learning. As a student from science background, I could recollect ideas I have from the chemistry lab. Why sodium? Why phenolphthalein? While oxalic? we know how the system works. How do two elements react to one another and from another element? How do compounds are formed? How do we obtain? How do we check our PP? When all these are studied, yes, it's great that we have cleared 70% of knowledge, but after the practical, the concept of any topic which we have concluded in the practical has stuck to our head. And nowadays, when I returned, seeing the books of those subjects where practicals class was conducted, I could easily recollect those portions. That's the benefit of practical learning skills. So in this case, let us talk about history and how to perform practical in history is to help students do some project works, and a school can conduct literary competition where students should compete one another based on performing the world history, the Indian history. When all these dramas are done, then the visualization of students should expand beyond their capacity. That's one thing. And second one is education with games, I call it. We know how our brain works. Studying continuously for 10 hours will be in vain when you don't pay attention. I don't literally say this. It happens to me, and as a student, I've also seen lots of friends who are really smart, smarter than me. When they don't pay interest, our tendency to spend 4 or 5 hours just to learn one chapter. Here the idea is how to resolve students' problems when they are lazy. Like the education system in China, what do they do is they have included almost all the games within the campus. After 1 hour, they have given students to play their interest games. After 1 hour, they are back to studies. This is their education system also. Now if we talk about in terms of global, in terms of university, in terms of examinations, which state, which country do you think is the highest? United States has been ruling the world, but China has been in the first place in terms of education. The same applies to all the students. Here in our country, we don't pay attention to sports, to games, to be introduced in the schools or colleges. We think these all will distract students' thinking capacity. No, in contrary to it, we are now to start introducing curricular activities where students can take part while they are rest to regain their concentrations. When students are back to the class after gaining their concentrations, you don't require 4 or 5 hours to teach one lesson. They can easily understand when their brain is ready and concentration level is high. Thank you.